Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about beginner photography and my 5 tips on how to get started in photography if you're a beginner. Plus, if you stick around to the end, there's one bonus tip as well. Okay, so tip number 1, gear. Don't go out buying expensive gear. Don't watch all these YouTube videos and see all these fancy YouTubers that have got thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment. When you start off, you don't need that. You need to hone your skills. You need to get a camera, preferably one with interchangeable lenses where you can change, for depending on what sort of photography you want to do, whether you want to do landscape, whether you want to do portraits or wildlife. Today I'm at the zoo trying to get some pictures of obviously animals, doing some wildlife in the zoo environment. But yeah, my biggest tip is buy second hand. There's plenty of really great reputable retailers out there like mpb.com, Wex. Again, use any local shops so you have camera shops, get their advice, but definitely buy second hand. Most of my gear is second hand. Again, when you finish with it, used it, you realise it's not the camera for you, or you want to upgrade, or you've bought the wrong lens, or you want a bigger lens, depending on what photography you want to do, trade it in, get some money back. Absolutely. So yeah, top tip, buy second hand. Don't go out and spend loads of money initially. Hone your skills first. Okay, so tip number 2 would be to, if you're going to get into photography, is do your homework. Get yourself a beginner's guide, idiot's guide, watch some YouTube tutorials. Once you get your camera, make sure you just practice the hell out of it. You're not going to get a better photographer until you practice. Don't fall into a trap like I did, think you need like a really good camera, really good lens, and then away you go. You'll be taking perfect images all day long. It's absolutely not true. You need to put hours and hours of work in. Go out with like-minded people, join a photography group, or just some friends that are into photography. Practice with them, pick up tips from them, pick up tips from others, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on Google, like I say, local photography group, because that's the only way you're ever going to get a better photographer. Alright, okay, it's not about buying expensive lenses, not about buying the best camera. Yes, eventually once you get to a certain level and then you need to obviously progress, then absolutely. But at the beginning, like I said in tip 1, don't waste your money on expensive gear. It's not going to make you a better photographer. What's going to make you a better photographer is practice. Okay, so jumping straight into tip 3, editing can be a bit of a minefield. Again, a bit like tip 2, you've got to see what editing software is out there for you, what you can afford. Again, don't go expensive. See if you can get some free trials. Again, watch plenty of YouTube videos. That's how I learn. I mean, I'm quite good on computers anyway, so I'm quite lucky. I pick things up quite quickly. But YouTube is your friend. There's plenty of editing videos, tips. I use Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. Again, that comes at a price. It's a monthly subscription. If you can't afford that, then there's other editing softwares out there. I'll put some links in the description below. You can get some free software to get you started. You can purchase old versions or get some free downloads off the internet. But again, it's just going to be practice makes perfect. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to need to practice a lot, and everyone's got their own editing style. So again, just because you watch a video on YouTube and they edit their images in one way to make them look a certain way, you might not like that look, so you'll get your own look. Again, it's practice. You can always use presets initially, which will help you get an understanding of how you can edit your photos, and it's a good base to start with. Okay, so tip number 4, lighting. Now, I'm not talking about going out and buying expensive lighting set up for your studio. I'm just talking about if you're going to be, doing some daylight photography, outdoors, landscapes, wildlife, lighting still plays a big part in photography. I'm sure you've seen some fantastic images of sunrise shots, sunsets, you know, and some images throughout the day. But you need the correct lighting. Like on a day like today, it's very grey sort of day, so you're not going to get those fantastic landscape images with the sun peering through. So you've got to go out at the right times of day. Majority of people have got a smartphone these days, so use them. You know, you've got weather apps. You know, you can check days in advance to see where the best weather is. You've also got apps for photography. A brilliant app called Photo Pills. Yes, it will cost you, you know, time it's recording, about £10. It's a fantastic app that you can download from the App Store, and you can use that to see where the sun rises and sun sets, the moon rises and the moon lowers in your area. You can even see things like where the Milky Way is going to be. You know, it's an absolutely fantastic app. I personally just use it just for that. I mean, it can do a whole lot more, but it's well, in my opinion, it's well worth the £10 just for those. Like I say, use your weather app. See when the best times of day are going to be, where the sun is, where the cloud is. You've also got another fantastic app, which is a free app called Clear Outside. I use it. You can see what time the sun's going to rise, what time the sun's going to set in your area, wind direction, you know, low cloud, high cloud, medium cloud, whether it's going to be clear, whether you're going to be able to see the stars. You know, really great little app. Again, I'll link it in the description below. But lighting is a massive, massive part of photography. Again, something I've learned the hard way. I've been out on days like I am today, you know, thinking that I'm going to get a fantastic shot and come back and it's dull, boring, and it's just mainly down to the light. So yeah, lighting is tip number 4. Okay, so we're almost coming to the end of the video. So tip number 5, and probably the biggest tip of all, have fun. You know, photography is you're meant to enjoy it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't get too frustrated if some of your images don't come out how you want. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Just go out, enjoy yourself, meet up with like-minded people, and, you know, have fun. Even if you're thinking about, you know, making it into a business at a later date, in those early stages, it's all about the practice. It's all about having fun. It's all about, you know, going out at different times of the day, getting those crisp sunrise shots, those lovely sunset shots, you know, wildlife shots, anything you're into. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself and have a great time. Enjoy it, enjoy learning, you know, enjoy researching photography. Just have fun. Oh, right, I'm back in the car. That was cold. Hasn't got above freezing today, but yeah, back in the car. Good few hours around the zoo. Got some awesome shots. Just actually going back to sort of tip number 2 about meeting people and photography groups, etc. Just met a lovely lady who's really into wildlife photography, and she has just given me some fantastic tips. Just changed a couple of settings on the camera for me, you know, to improve my wildlife photography. So there you go, proof's in the pudding. Yeah, it's not always what you know, sometimes it's who you know. There's always going to be better photographers out there than yourself, and yeah, learn from them, absolutely. I'll post some of the pictures, some of the best pictures I've got today. I'm really excited to edit them, because I think I've got some great shots, so we'll see. Okay, so as you know, done with 5 tips, and I did promise a bonus tip at the end. So one of the biggest things I've done in the past year, and this is the bonus tip, is I started printing my photography. Oh my god, what a game changer. Don't get me wrong, don't print every single picture, image I take, but the ones I have printed are, you know, love looking at them, really fantastic, really good to see them, you know, well, printed basically. You know, I bought myself a folder, put them in there, show your friends, colleagues at work, you know, and they look absolutely awesome. Been printing them A3, A2 and A1. My book I've got is A3 folder that I put Storm in, but yeah, I've blown them up to a couple of times. I've blown them up to A1s to see what they look like, and they've come out fantastic. But again, you learn a lot. First couple I printed, you know, I noticed some dust spots didn't come out as good as I wanted. Yeah, probably could have edited them slightly better, or I've missed on editing. I've missed, you know, a couple of things I could have erased out of the image, or, you know, like I say, the odd dust spot. But again, another good way of learning. Get back into editing, check those, clean them up, reprint them, look fantastic. I use a company online called Loxley Colour. They've been brilliant, really, you know, good price range and great delivery, cheaper than printing themselves at home, buying a decent printer and paper and setting it up, and then, you know, for the amount of times I do print, just wouldn't be worth it. So yeah, tip number 6, once you start, you know, getting okay with photography, and you're quite happy, get them printed, get them up on the wall, get them in your office, get them wherever. Even if you'd like me, just put them in a folder. I've got a few up on the wall, don't get me wrong, framed and up on the wall, but you know, in a folder where I can see them, where I can show people if they want to have a look at them. Yeah, really, really good. Definitely print your photos. Okay, well that's it from me. So there you go, 6 tips for beginners photography. All right, like I say, this wasn't a tutorial of, you know, how to do things, edit, or, you know, set up your camera, but it's just 6 tips that I've learned and I think will be useful for other photographers, or certainly beginner photographers starting their journey. So thanks for watching. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe because it really does help. See you soon.